Okay, so last night, or rather, wee hours yesterday morning, I was telling you guys about my fabulous life with my fabulous boyfriend, Robert Kardashian. And where is. I'm sorry, I just feel like my lipstick is like. It's just fading, bitch. I'm sad about it. I'm not really that sad though, I'm playing. Um, so my boyfriend Robert Kardashian and I, like, it just feels so good. Like sometimes, like, I'll wake up and I'll be at Bruce and Chris's house, and I usually only go over there whenever I'm hanging out with Kendall and Kylie because sometimes they let me cornrow their hair. And I really love cornrolling white bitches' hair because like they start crying, they get so sad, but they want the braids so bad. But I make sure that they're always jacked up and they have like those like little loopholes in them. So usually they only keep them in for like a couple minutes, and then they take them out in the shower because they be like, oh, my hair naturally it just falls out, and I'm like, yeah, bitch, I know you took that shit out because it looked a mess. But I fucked with them, you know what I mean? Whenever they get like like sometimes brands be sending them like double XLs by accident. I think like sometimes it's kind of like some sort of like shaming campaign to like make them feel like they're too big. But they just give those to me and all the scarves. Like they give me every single scarf that they get because they said that like they don't really fuck with scarves. And I'm like, oh, that's awesome to know, you know what I mean? Because like I really don't care, but like I like getting them free scarves, you know what I mean? Ooh, okay, Samantha girl, peace out, girl. So anyways, like me and my mans, like we love so deep. It's just like, when we're like not together, like I know he feels it. Like, sometimes he'll go and sleep at Chloe's house. Um and just to like get the feeling again, the feeling of like, just like being, the third person in the house, with Chloe and Lamar. I don't know, that's weird to me a little bit, but like I let him live. You know what I mean? I really don't like harass him. You know what I mean? Because really he just makes sure that, I'm happy at all times. You know. And I think, one time I went to Kris Jenner's house. And we had a whole conversation. It was really uncomfortable about Bruce. And I was telling her, I really don't care. Like I think like I've alienated myself away from this family enough. They really, like I said, they really don't have me on the show because they know that I really don't give a shit about like them as people. I just try to live my little fly life like adjacent to their life, but that's just like really what it is. But I remember like one time me and Rob went to this party, dead ass, and we saw Snoop lying. And I was like, Snoop, what is wrong with you? And he was like, you need to call me a Snoop Lion. And I was like, Snoop, I'm not gonna call you Snoop Lion because what you're doing right now is basic bitch fuckery, and I need you to stop it. And he was, like he was like really like upset because like I don't think he realizes like, what he's doing to like the culture of like Rastafari, and things of that nature. Because I don't know too much about it to be speaking on it, but I know that he's fucking up. And I was like, on behalf of like my Rasta friends, on behalf of like all the people that I fucks with, that have told me that this is blatant fuckery, that I have looked into as blatant fuckery. This is blatant fuckery, Snoop Lion. And I made him take off the rainbow hat in front of me, and it was just a bunch of like messy dreads, and they weren't even like real dreads. It was like Dookie Twist. Really, it was just mad at Dookie Twist. And I told him, I was like, listen, I was like, your shit isn't even dreading. Your shit's not even dreading, son. I was like, you need to stop playing. It was like a Dookie Twist braid combo. Like he was really trying it. Like his hair just didn't lock though because it still had a perm in it. So I was trying to explain to him like, you can't try to lock permed hair. I mean you can, but you know, that's where I was coming from. I was like, I just don't see the fucking point. But that's just what the fuck he was trying to do, and I was trying to like steer him clear from that shit. So anyway, so I'm breezing through the whole fucking party, right? Like I'm breezing through, and you know, Rob is like really emotional sometimes. Like I can usually find him on like on the couch or in the pool or something. And like, don't get me wrong, like we're in an open relationship, we can see other people, but like I feel like for me, I'm happy with him, and I think he's happy with me. I don't. I think like we made this. We made a pact. We made a pact over some French fries, and some lamb. Some lamb. There was some kebab there. We also had one of those Friendly's Jubilee rolls. We actually had those as well. And we were just like, we made a pack over this like giant feast. We actually brought it to a buffet, so we were like near food when we did it. And him and I, we really just spoke about like our true feelings. As white people would say, we like really looked into our heart of hearts, and we really found ourselves, really like developing something real. And we told ourselves that like we didn't want to be locked down by monogamy, by the rigorous chains of monogamy. And we decided that if we wanted to see other people, we would. And I feel like that's when that whole Rita Ora thing came in, because I feel like Rita really hurt him. Like that happened while we were together, and I wasn't upset at it at the time. I wasn't upset about anything transpiring at the time. But in retrospect, I feel like Rita has just been very disrespectful to me in general, because I just want to say she, now this all happened on the street, okay, on the street. I'm walking down Fifth Ave, walking. I have like these really sickening boots on. They're actually bright blue, like electric blue boots with silver spikes all over them. Very dangerous. I actually hurt myself wearing them, but it's okay. Like I'm a survivor type bitch. So I'm wearing these bright blue balt. I'm gonna say, what, cobalt blue. Forget electric, cobalt. I think that's the more appropriate term. A nice 1 inch heel, something that's not too strenuous, just a nice walking boot. And I actually have it lined with fur. And then I'm wearing, just some basic jeans. And I do have a blazer on, and just like a very simple, like white satin top. And it's just like a really simple look. I'm not really wearing any makeup, that like any makeup really, but I am wearing a signature boat knot necklace, which is actually made from like rescued twine from the Titanic, that I actually got from Urban Outfitters. So it was like, I think it was like on sale. Like I think it was like buy 6 headbands and get that for free. So I just got a bunch of like spiked and rose headbands and stuff, and then I got this. But it's basically just like a white necklace with just like a giant knot here, but it's like really rustic looking as well. So it's like pulling two different eras, you know what I mean? It's pulling boat chic, but also like Lithuania, if you know what that is. Anyways, so, I'm walking down the street looking sickening and too fierce, and I actually see her, and she's wearing the same boots as me. And like, how these bloggers are. So there are pictures of us together, and it's like, who wore it best? And, you know, they tried to shade me. Actually, hold on, because I'm kind of parched right now. This story is taking, you know what the thing is? I'm telling a story about Rita, and she is so thirsty that she has taken the fucking moisture from my throat. Like, I am so parched right now. And I just feel like I've been attacked. But I'm gonna take my drink. Mm. Mm. So anyways, wearing the same boots as me, and at the time I was wearing a wig that was very similar to her hair. And honestly, like, I know that they were tracks, but the rest of the world didn't. So they were trying to make me feel bad, like, oh, like the wig was inspired by Rita. And it was like, no, Rita was inspired by the wig. Like, let's get it together. Like, don't, you know what I mean? I just couldn't believe that they were doing that. It was really disgusting me. So anyways, and when I passed her, I was like, cute boots, because I didn't want to be rude. I wanted to be like acknowledging of the fact that you were trying to ruin my life. And, because like I said, you know how these bloggers are, you know? So for like a couple of weeks, I was actually like checking her Twitter to see if she would Instagram her outfit because it was like, how could I go out of the house and continue? You know what I mean? I figured, we have cobalt boots in common. What else could there be? You know what I mean? What else could we both love mutually? And, we're wearing it on the red carpet. It just is not something I want to deal with. Not to mention the fact, she's dropped an album and I'm like waiting to like put my album down. Like I'm not going to drop my album. I think like the way I'm going to spread around my music is going to be like going to, the clubs that I've been going to, but also, getting like a van. I've been thinking about it, And like I know people are going to like say what they're going to say. But me and Rob were talking, and we decided that we might want to like move from our house. I don't know. Like it was just like a whimsical idea we were having. Like we were having breakfast in bed. We had um we had just so much food all over the place. It was so great. And I just remember, between like I was like laying between, some croissants and some cinnamon buns, and he was next to the eggs, and there were cheesy grits, and there was actually a lot of like sauteed shrimp because we are very fucking fancy. And we were talking about, just like what we wanted to do, with all of our time, because his sock line isn't going anywhere. I think we both have come to terms with that, and it's just not his fault. I think the thing is like his idea for trend setting, it really like revolves around tie dye, unfortunately. So I don't think like a lot of people are gonna catch on to that, to be honest. But that's neither here nor there. But we were talking about going on a road trip, getting a van and just like, getting out of, the way and just going. But of course, he tells Kim and then Kim tells fucking Kanye. And then like Kanye is like tweeting about like our life and, just trying to call us like wannabe hippies and like don't we know like what we're doing? Like what kind of message are we perpetuating to the children of America? And it was just like, wow, we're like following our fucking dreams, Kanye actually. Like following our fucking dreams actually. But Kanye acts like he doesn't hear me. And Kim is like, they're telling us all these like things about Kim like being natural to motherhood and like LOL. And it's just like, okay, like what are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like I've met Kim like a handful of times. Every time that like I'm in the room with her, she just like ignores me. She's actually like mistaken my name once. For just like a bunch of different names, but like it wasn't my name. And I said to her, I said, you know what, Kim Kardashian, I said, I don't really think you understand, but I am not your fan. I am not your fan. And I told her she will respect me. And I told her that that's how things are gonna have to be in our friendship. That there will be a level of respect that she needs to maintain at all times. And honestly, I think she's kind of scared of me. Every time I like walk down the hallway, she's always like hugging the walls and shit. And one time I actually think she ran from me. Like one time we were both in the kitchen at the same time. You know how Kris Jenner got this big ass motherfucking kitchen for no damn reason. So I'm over here making a sandwich in like quadrant 1, and she's in like quadrant 4 over here, like reading a book in a nook or something, And I was like, who the fuck ate my turkey? And I heard her start scrambling. I heard a book close, and I heard feet, and then I heard like the whoosh of microfusion tracks like go through the air, and I was like, oh really? So then I started like going through the house, and I had a knife in my hand, but not to attack her. I was actually like, I was going to cut my sandwich, and I was like, you know what? And I just ran after her and I didn't think about it. But then like when it all came down to it, Rob caught me like in the middle of running, like, and he grabbed me and he was like, what are you doing? And we both sobbed, uncontrollably in each other's arms. And I think like that's the hallmark of a relationship. Like just two people just like really like eclipsed by emotion at all times. I knew that I didn't want to attack Kimberly. I knew that I was upset at the turkey, not her. I was upset at the turkey. And so, me and Rob really like worked through that together. And I think that's why, like, I just think we're meant to make it. I think we're meant to make it. Exactly. They really do only eat salad. They don't like, or like they'll have like these servants, and I'm like, is your life that busy you can't like heat up some shit? Cooking is not that hard. Like people be making cooking out to be like some big fucking task, you know? Like that's why, and that's another reason why I love Rob. Rob will go to any drive-through with me, anytime. You know what I mean? Our favorite thing to do. Those McDonald's that got like the double line? It's like they got like the regular drive through and then they got that invisible drive through that they just like pretended was like a real drive through. We like to like, he has like this Kawasaki like quad and like he got this little sidecar for me. So we like to go through both of the lanes and we order two different bags, you know what I mean? Like surprise the other one, you know what I mean? I like to think about what he want to eat. He thinks about what I want to eat. And then like when we meet up, or rather like when we get, to the window, then I'm like, I wonder what he got. And you know what? He always gives me some McChickens and he makes sure to get me some ranch dressing. But he also doesn't play to make sure to get me some chocolate chip cookies because those things, that three cookies for one, that's my faves. Honestly, like I could eat that shit all day. Like that's my joint. If I could just be real with y'all. Um, I'm actually gonna go powder my nose. So uno. So I know I said I wouldn't talk about Beyonce, but I just have like a really funny story that happened like when I was hanging out with her one day, and I don't think she would be upset about me telling this story because, it really paints her as a revolutionary, and like that's what she is. That's truly what she is. So Beyonce and I, we actually ended up, spending the day together. We bumped into each other at the Honey Baked Ham Company because Jay-Z loves honey baked hams. And that's actually how we met originally. I was looking for a way to actually work per ham. I was trying to figure out a way to kind of talk with the company in order to get it so that like all of my actions could be like converted into pounds of ham. So we got it worked out, and I ended up working at the Honey Baked Ham Company, and I made so many hams that year. But when Jay Z came in, I was just like, I was very, I treated him with respect like I treat anyone else. But I think he saw something in me that was just like, I can't put my finger on it because, it's like it wasn't me. He discovered me. And he was like, I don't think I want to sign you for music, but I really want to be your homie. And I was like, I would really appreciate a homie, Jay Z. I would really appreciate that. I don't know why anybody would think otherwise of me. I'm always looking for a homie. So me and Jay Z started kicking at the studio, you know what I mean? And that's not code for nothing, it was very professional. I would just chill, I would just lay in the cut actually. And, as I'm saying, like, I'm very sickening, like, on the scene, but, like, when I first started coming out, you know what I mean? I was, like, really trendsetting, like, super hard. So, like, when I would come to the studio, I remember, like, one of my first outfits, it was, like, super sickening. I actually had, like, this shower curtain that I purchased from Home Depot. It actually had like a very like interesting theme on it. It was like the world. It was like very geographical. So what I did is I cascaded it over me, and it's like so interesting because like my tits were being covered by like Australia and like parts of Africa, and it was just like so beautiful like to see myself just like adorned in that way. And I actually had some very rustic looking shower curtain like holders, so I actually like I was wearing those in my hair, to give like a lot of dimension. And I also had on my shoes, I actually had platform sneakers on in like a bright yellow. It was like alarming. And when I came in, everyone was just like, whoa. But as soon as I started talking to everyone was like, whoa, like she's really down to earth. Like they were really just interested in me um, as who I was. They were really interested in like my aesthetic and like the things that I was doing. I'm dead, Jaja. That's hilarious. No one ever pays me in ham. Um, yes. So I'm over here. I'm wondering. I'm wondering, how I'm going to really break out. And that's actually how I met Rob. I actually never told you guys how I met Rob Kardashian. It's funny because, it's a really touching story. I know I didn't tell you that story about Beyonce because I think I rethought it. And honestly, like, I don't want to make enemies with Beyonce. I think that she is the queen of everything and perfection. I think one day we will be eating crackers made of her flesh. So just kidding. Like I felt like the Christians were gonna be mad at that. I felt like I had to say a JK. Um so anyways, Rob Kardashian and I. Okay. So I I used to be one of the girls that jumped out of cakes at events. I was actually a specialty cake, being that I am a plus size gal. I am no small potatoes. So I was actually one of the largest cake orders that you could place, and it was called the Big Mama Bama. And the Big Mama Bama was basically a German chocolate cake that was covered with coconut frosting, and it was all added with like a lot of like whipped cream, so it was like really fluffy and decadent. And I would pop out of it, and people would just give me money, and it was just like really wonderful for me. And I remember I was working this party. I think, was it? It was. Okay. It was. Okay. If you're a Buffy fan, I was at Sarah Michelle Gellar's house. Okay. I'm not a big Buffy fan. She hates me for it. Every time she comes over, she's like, why won't you watch my show? And it's like, Buffy. Cell phones were so weird in that show. It's just like I can't go backwards in watching shows about like early technology. It's just so frustrating because I'm like, what did you guys do? Maybe I'm wrong though. The more talk about this, the more I'm like, maybe I'm wrong. But I don't know. I'm not super into Buffy. But anyway, so I was working a party at Sarah Michelle Gellar's house. And when I popped out of the cake, people were like stunned as usual. But I noticed like there was like a huge chunk of the cake that had been eaten out of the bag. And when I turned around, I just saw I saw Rob just like just covered in frosting, and it was just the cutest thing I've ever seen. And it just made I like instantly fell in love with him, and I just didn't expect it. It kind of like washed over me. Like, imagine like a calm day at the beach. You walk out when the water is like receding back into the ocean, and then like right when you get to like the deepest part where maybe your breaths are like scraping along the water, that's when the ocean returns a big wave to you. And that's really what I felt like. I was in a really harsh time. Okay, I was in a really harsh time. Okay, I was dating all over Hollywood. I was dating so many men that like I really didn't want to be with. I was also dating women that I didn't want to be with. I had a short tryst, very short tryst with Mindy Kaling. And she is interesting and beautiful and wonderful, but just so many mind games. One minute it's like I want you to be on my show, then it's like no, it'd be weird, and it's like ugh, like we can't advance our careers and advance this pussy. Like I just don't get it. But whatever, I'm not gonna deal with it. I'm gonna move on. Be strong. So anyways, so I meet Rob, and it's like everything we do is so much fun. It's like things that like I already did by myself. It's like with another person. It just felt so good. Like, from time to time, like we would do like hit and runs. Like we would like run inside of a grocery store and like grab the biggest piece of meat that we could find and like run out. And Rob won a lot. Rob won a lot, but I won some too, so that's all that matters. But like it felt good to like have that thrill with another person and not just like ride the bus home by myself and then also go to a pizza place afterwards. So it just felt like really good because then I could like ride the bus with another person and then go to a pizza place with another person as well. Because then I can get a booth. When you go by yourself, like they usually are like, well, I gotta sit at the table, and I'm like, I prefer to sit in a booth. But I was able to sit in a booth, and that was really awesome for me. Um, so anyways, you guys want to hear a story about Blue Ivy? That's so funny. Well, listen, I think right now, I think like the funniest story that I can offer, a little morsel, if you will. Oh, you want to hear something interesting? So, I went to a barbecue that Solange was throwing, and it was beautiful. Like, let me just lay the scene for you. Like, Solange lives in this very, like, Brady Bunch house, okay? It's just, like, a lot of, like, architectural, like, influences from, like, the 50s and 60s. It's very cozy, but also, like, there are a lot of coral tones, a lot of tans, too. But it's also very earth tony as well. A lot of, like, abstract art, used in foliage expressions. And she was wearing like a very plain shift dress, and she was wearing like these wicker flats. And we went into I'm sorry, I'm gonna cough again. Actually, no, I'm gonna have my drink first. I'm sorry, I'm getting so parched telling you this story. It's so long because like there's so many things that happen. So, oh, what was he saying? All right. Oh yeah. So I was at Solange's house, and she was actually serving. I was really surprised, Chex Mix, but it was like delicious. Um, I'm always like very surprised like what people can do with cayenne pepper, and it was just like really good. Very salty, but also like it had like a little sweet kind of glaze on it. I don't know. I'm gonna get the recipe from her sometime. She always tweets me, but like it's always like an hour after I see it that like I actually like will have something to say back because she's like really interesting. So I like never want to tweet her anything dumb. So sometimes I just don't even tweet her because I feel like that's cooler than like not saying something dumb. I don't know. It's probably really stupid, but she asked me to go out with her, and I actually like in real life, like outside of all of this, like hello, I don't date Rob Kardashian. Real story. When I was in New Orleans, I actually, dead ass, like, actually, let me get hyped for it because, like, this really made me excited. I was at this club, I was at Mimi's, right? And I go inside, and it was whack. I was, like, waiting for this girl that I had a crush on to, like, come out of the club, and she wasn't at the club. Like, I found out, but, like, the only reason why I went into the club is because I was looking for this girl. Motherfucker, I go into the fucking club, and it's Solange knows, looking so beautiful. And I was like, "Are you Solange Knowles?" And then she smiled, and I was like, and then she was like, "Shh." And I was like, "Okay, I won't be an offie," but I wanted to be like, "Solange!" And then I like watched her walk down the street, and then she like sat on this stoop that I sit on, and she was just smoking like a joint with her homie, and I was like, and that would be beautiful. And like this whack ass bitch that I was walking with was like, "Oh, we should ask Solange if she want to smoke with us." And I was like, "No, that's whack as hell. Like, let's not do that at all." And we didn't. And I was like, "Thank God," because I would have been so embarrassed. Like, I'd have been so embarrassed, you know. I don't know. I just wouldn't have wanted to do that. It's like really like if we would have had weed to share with her, that would have been dope. You feel me? Like I feel like that's awkward to be like, "Hey Solange, like can I have some of your weed?" Like I'm not gonna forget. This is like I don't know what this bitch was thinking. It was a white girl that said that shit. So I'm not really surprised. Hold on one second. I have to go powder my nose. So 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 one afternoon, Rob and I got invited to, as I said, go to Solange's house. And it was a really great time. You know, her whole house is just like I said, it's very like 50s, 60s vibe. It's very simple, but also very vibrant. Um, and when we got to the party, you know, after eating, we saw that there was a pool out back. And I think like Trey Songz was there, and so was Chris Brown. And like Chris Brown was trying to act like hella tough, and we were just like, "Son, chill." You know what I mean? He needed to relax. He like this is when this nigga had like that white blonde hair and shit. So we were like, "My nigga, like really relax." Like every day that I see Chris Brown, like he is looking scary. Like I feel bad for him at this point. You know what I mean? Like I'm like I never hated him. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, Chris Brown, you know what I mean? Like I like it's not my place to hate this man. I don't know him. Like people be forgetting. Like there's people that be on people that like you don't know about. Just because he's in the public eye, I'm not gonna pretend like I care about this nigga doing that shit. It was fucked up for sure, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like like I'm a supporter or I was a supporter because I really wasn't. I mean, I think I liked Yo. I'm not gonna lie, I liked Yo. And I like Superhuman. And I liked Wall to Wall. I got like five Chris Brown songs that I like, but I'll never download them shits. I'll think them in my mind. Okay? I do not patronize Chris Brown, but at the same time, you know what I mean? So, anyways, Rob likes Chris Brown, so that's like our beef. I feel like that's like our like fight as a couple, and is that like he really likes Chris Brown. He's always trying to be up under him and shit, and I'm like, get away from him. I'm like, Rob, I don't have time for this shit. You know what I mean? Like I got Rob where I want him. You know what I mean? He's chubby, looking cute. You know what I mean? Doing him. You know what I mean? Like living his little life. He got his little friends. They go out and do their little thing, and I don't have to worry about him. You know what I mean? Like really like people try to like my friends will be like, "Oh, like where do you think he goes?" And I'm like, "To the buffet. To the fucking buffet." I'm not worried. You know, I've never been worried about Rob, you know, cheating on me or leaving me because like when he was with Rita, he told me, you know, about the relationship and I was just like, "Rob." I was like, "Rob, how do you feel? Do you feel supported in this?" And you know, he would tell me that like Rita would just hit him up, you know, whenever she was hungry, like have him take her out to Denny's or some shit. You know, if she was like if she really didn't want to hang out with him for that long, she would go and get like you know she would have him do like the McDonald's breakfast, and then like just get like six extra hash browns, like That's kind of rude, and like not even give him one. Like he would have to go through the drive-through to get something for himself because like he would just be like, "Oh, like there's all this food, like this can't all be just for you," and it really was. You know what I mean? Like she really was like, "No, bitch, like drop me off over here." And I was trying to explain to him, like tenderly, because it's like I know that like she was willing to spend time with him. I'm pretty sure that she gave him a heej, and for all y'all who don't know, that's a hand job. But like even if he got a million heeges from her, I feel like it was one of those situations where it was like, like what are you getting from this? Like all that's happening is that like she doesn't care for you. She doesn't even like she doesn't want to really be with you. And whenever she gives you a hand job, it's usually after you've given her cash. So I'm just trying to explain to him, but she was never fucking with my money. You feel me? Like Rob always had me. I have my own account. You feel me? That's some basic shit. You know what I mean? I told Rob, I was like, Rob, if you're gonna be with me, you gotta keep me a certain way. And he knew what the fuck I was talking about. Shopping sprees at Target, bitch. Okay, that's where I bees. Okay, and sometimes I make my own custom shit. You know what I mean? Like if I'm able to, I go and get me some fabrics. You know what I mean? He'll fly me out to Mood. You know what I mean? Just so I can do a sample. And I think we do a lot of things. Like we sell Kim's hair on the internet. You know what I mean? We go through her brush and we collect strands because her hair sheds a lot because it's not all hers. But as long as we can get a picture with the hair with her, then people will pay for it. So that's one way that we are surviving. We also sell pictures of Mason and baby Penelope on the low low. You know what I mean? When I get to babysit them, I'll dress them up real nice and, put them next to a fireplace or something, or have them next to like a big ass dog. And, I just make sure that they look like really clean. And they, I do like a nice, like soft glow filter or some shit. I do all the Christmas cards in the family, honestly. But they just don't know about them because I'm doing this shit on the side. And y'all niggas better never tell nobody neither. I don't got time for it. But, anyways, I don't know, like me and Rob, like we're very stable, and I think it's because like I have like a no nonsense kind of like way about being in a relationship. Like I don't take no lip. If I say I want a Chris sandwich and some hash browns, bitch, it's time to get those for me. And I think I'm always thinking in his best interest. You know what I mean? I always order him to get enough food so that I could give him some. You know what I mean? So he doesn't think I didn't think of him. You know what I mean? I always order some extra fries or something so he has something to munch on while I'm eating because it's fucked up for him to like not get something off my plate, but like not really off my plate. Like if he's not here when I'm ordering, because it's just like just in case he shows up. If not, I'll eat it myself. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna be happening because these last couple days we've been staying at the Jenner's house and the baby's there and the baby is loud and they keep talking about this baby is gorgeous and I'm like it's just a light-skinned baby, like relax. Like everybody is like this baby is so pretty, this baby's so pretty, and it's like okay, like let this baby cook, let this baby cook. Yes, she's so pretty. I believe you. It just like I don't know. I just don't have no time for no motherfucking light skinned baby. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but Lazy Bone, you are so funny. Oh my god, Lazy Bone, your hair is so sickening, bitch. Oh my god, I'm like clicking on your icon and shit. I'm trying to find you. Oh my god, is that MIA though? I'm sad. I thought that was you. I'm not mad. Oh damn. That only makes me want blonde hair more, but like my hair isn't like that. I just want to get a blonde wig. I shouldn't have dyed my hair, I feel. Cause like I don't care enough, but like I want it to be white just for a little bit, cause that'd be cool. I seen a girl with like her hair was like dark at the roots, and then it was like a nice, like pretty, like red brown, and then it was like white at the ends, and it was so beautiful. And I was like, oh my god, like that, my hair looked so sickening. If I could only just get it white. That's all I want is white hair. So I can get some white tracks and look like Storm. So I could be like a fat Storm. Like, there's not too many bitches out here being a fat Storm. You know what I mean? Or even like Ursula. Thank you, World P86. Oh, thank y'all. Y'all are so funny. Thank you so much for giving me praise. I love it. Um, but yeah, so you know what? I think the thing that I don't like about Kanye is that he is just so arrogant. Like, he really thinks that he should run for president next. And I told him, nigga, please don't. Like, it's embarrassing that you think that that's something that you should do. Because it's like, you know he's not going to win. You know what I mean? Like, I think we all know that Kanye wouldn't win presidency, and you know it's not a bad thing. It's not for a bad reason. It's more so that like that nigga's like too conceited. We could not have that nigga in the presidency because every like day he would be trying to talk on the fucking TV, trying to talk to people. You know, trying to tell people to get their swagger up or some shit. You know what I mean? It would just not be. It wouldn't be a good look. I don't think for you, Kanye. You could be something else, like a rapper. That's what you already are. Continue to be that. That's cool for me. Um, I don't know. I'm just not really sure what's going on in the Kardashian house though, because as I'm saying, we're renovating our house because we did buy a houseboat. And so, you know, we've been staying at the Jenner house while our houseboat is, you know, off the coast. So it's just like it's kind of like mind numbing how much we have to like deal with, you know, in this household cuz like, you know, this little baby's crying so hard and we're just like, will someone pick her up, you know? And like, I don't know why Kim keeps doing this, but she keeps putting headphones on this bitch. Like this baby be wearing Bose. This baby be wearing the Beats by Dre. And it just be bugging me. You know, I'm like, why would you put those on your baby? And she's just like, oh, I got her listening to Chopin. And I was like, but really though, you know what I mean? But really though, honestly, not interested in it. Not at all. Not at all. Um, I don't know. I just don't believe in putting all these electronics on these babies. Okay. Oh my God. World P86, you're too fucking hilarious. You know what, Kanye? I think Kanye likes Kim because she'll just go along with whatever. Like this is like the epitome of a dumbass ride or die bitch. You know, cause she'll ride or die for some dumb shit. It seems to me. You know, I was never here for Kimberly Kardashian. I was never here for her. Kimberly Noel Kardashian. Yes, I know her full shit. I'm not here for her. And every time she's in my house, I'm just like, and now that I'm in the Jenners' house, when she comes over, that's not at my discretion. So I could just be in the house, you know, eating a cheese sandwich, and then she'll just come through the door, you know, from going out briefly because she doesn't really leave. Like she went out, and she was like, honestly, like her disguise is so good. Her disguise is so fucking good. She actually is friends with Flavor Flav, and Flavor Flav just gave her all of his velour suits, because he just decided to like upgrade his fucking outfits and shit. So Flavor Flav donated some Kango hats to this bitch too. So she's walking around looking like some other bitch. Like people are not clocking this tea because you know they're very baggy velour suits, honestly. And so she goes out and about and she be leaving the baby sometimes, you know, just like on Kanye's stomach and shit. Like I walk past in the hallway and I'll look in the, you know, you nosy when you walk past some people's shit. So I was walking past, I look in the room and I see Kanye just laying in there and with the baby on his belly and shit. And he was like, "Oh, this is gonna be my next album cover." And I was like, "Okay, nigga, cool. I don't care." Like he wasn't even supposed to see me looking at him. You know what I mean? So try to get the fuck away. As far as my relationship with Kendall and Kylie, as I said earlier, from time to time I do braid their hair and put beads in it and cowrie shells, but I haven't done that in a long time. And usually I only do that